Hi Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your January 2022 new moon reading for you. Now, I ask if this reading resonates with you, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will be listed and linked in the description box below. Now, before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds, letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. So let's see what the tarot has to say. Aquarius. How will Aquarius be affected by the January 2022 new moon? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. At the bottom is our rooted self. The left-hand side is our inner self. The middle, our heart, our emotional self. The right-hand side, the public arena, the public self. So let's see what the cards have to say. We have the Hangman and we have Strength. So if we have Leo energy within our natal chart, that's coming through very powerfully at our root. Then in our inner self, we have the Eight of Swords, the Two of Wands, and the Two of Cups. The repeat of the number 2 is quite powerful. The new moon is on the 2nd of January, and it is, the year 2022. So the angel in the year 222 is coming up. Excuse me. And there's a sense of unity here. There's a sense of new beginnings, and there's a sense of new roads, but we're a lot in our own head, so we have a hard time seeing this. So just be mindful here, Aquarius. Then we have the Star, which is us, Aquarius, coming forward. We have the Knight of Cups, water sign energy, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. We have the Hierophant, which is Taurus energy. And we have the Four of Cups. So if we have Taurus or water sign energy within our natal chart, this is coming through very strongly at our heart, as we are coming through at our heart. Then we have the Three of Swords and the Eight of Swords. Again, we are way too much in our own mind. There's frustration, there's anxiety, we feel trapped, we feel overwhelmed. It's kind of like, when do I get to be me? Like, when do I get to enter into my world, enter into what I desire? Why is it that I keep on having this heartbreak? I keep on having this sorrow, this grief, this pain coming forward, and never being able to be what I want to be, never being able to go where I want to go. And there's just this sense of frustration that comes forward. There's a sense of anger and impotence within their own lives. It's like, I cannot move forward the way that I want to. I cannot embrace what I want to embrace. And so we feel frustrated and small, and yet we are grand and we are bold, and we need to break these chains and we need to get out of our own heads. That's going to be really, really, really important. So let's look at the energy we need to be mindful of during this time. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. This is the Death card. This is Scorpio energy. We need to be mindful of lies and deceits and people who we think we can trust actually not being people who we can trust, or taking things at face value and saying, yeah, of course, why would they lie about this? Whomever it is, it can be a coworker, it can be somebody that we just meet, and we'll think, oh, well, that doesn't seem like something you'd lie about, and yet it is going to be something that they lie about. So just be mindful. Then we have our chakra energy. It's kind of like trust everyone, but brand your cattle type of thing going on here. And let's look at this. Angels and spirit guides show me clearly. And this is grounding. This is the Earth Star chakra, located 6 inches below our feet. We need to ground ourselves, center ourselves, see what it is that we desire and want, and how it is that we're moving forward within our world. And we need to make sure that we're feeding ourselves appropriately. We're nurturing what we desire, and we're feeding that inspiration. We're feeding that part of ourselves. It's kind of like planting a cactus in really moist, rich soil. It wouldn't do well. So we have to look at who we are and what we desire from our lives and saying, okay, is this nurturing me or is this hindering me? Let's talk about this time astrologically speaking, because we have the new moon in Capricorn on the 2nd of January. And what it has here is your hard work is paying off. We're really going to feel that. We're going to feel like things are really starting to come to a head. Now, the new moon always begins with the story of the sun conjunct the moon, which brings an end of one cycle and the beginning of another. This brings a burst of energy, of insight, and of intuition, which is for the cycle of the 28 days. It's that push forward, and we can really feel this, especially as we're taping this during the new moon. You know, we can feel this energy leading us forward. We will also find that the new moon is the most emotionally balanced part of our month. You know, we can really feel ourselves really starting to embrace a certain sort of harmony to lead us forward. Now, the new moon is also trine Uranus, which is really great for us, Aquarius, because we're ruled by Uranus. So this is a wonderful alignment to start the new year. It makes us open-minded, it makes us adventurous, it makes us willing to try new things, and lets ourselves progress forward in our lives. We will also find that our self-awareness is amplified during this time, and it doesn't lead to self-consciousness, meaning that we're not, we're self-aware, we're embracing who it is that we are, but we're not self-flagellating ourselves. We're not sitting there in doubt and in fear. And this makes us move forward and very easily express our uniqueness, our creativity, our quirkiness, our desire for ourselves. We will also be happy to see that this is a time of unexpected and positive changes that can lead us to freedoms, that can have us stepping out of our comfort zone and being rather comfortable with saying, you know what, I want to try something new. You know what, I need to have an adventure. And it leads us to really embracing the way that we want to live within our lives. Now, we will also find that the negative reactions of others aren't as big a deal. It doesn't affect us quite in the same way. Yes, it might very well affect us, but it's not going to be that same devastation. We will also find that we are very good at picking things up during this time, very good at learning new things and seeing new things and embracing new ideas. The new moon is also going to be in conjunction with Lilith, which is also known as the Black Moon. And Lilith represents what we want to ignore. Remember in the Bible, the first chapter of the Bible, in the second chapter, we have, the story of, in the beginning, there was man and woman, and they were created in their image and in their likeness. And in the second story, we have the woman being created out of man's rib. And in rabbinical studies, in the studies of the rabbis, they said, okay, there's 2 different creation stories. What happened here? And they named the first woman, the woman who was created with Adam, not from Adam. They named her Lilith. And she then looked at Adam and said, we are equal. And she got cast out of paradise. She got cast out of Eden and made into a demon. So what part of ourselves are we looking at and saying that's an equal part of us, and that we have cast out into obscurity, into damnation? Why have we done that? There's going to be a very important reason, and we have to look at that when we look at Lilith, because we're going to find that running away from things never solves any problem. Now, the sun is also going to be, not the sun, Saturn is going to be in Aquarius. Now, Aquarius, this is going to be not as comfortable for us as it would be for other signs, because we are ruled by Uranus. And this is actually uncomfortable for everybody, because Saturn is all about structure and rules and the responsibilities that we have to carry. And Uranus is all about freedom of expression and freedom of self and just freedom. So we have the rules that we have to live by, and we have the the freedom that we long for within our heart and within our soul. So this can bring anxiety. And also Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. So this can bring anxiety moving us forward. This can make us doubt. This can give us, a sense of, am I doing the right thing? Because I have two very distinct energies pulling me in two very distinct directions. But if we embrace the structure and we embrace the freedom and we say, okay, what structure do I need to have within my life to have the freedom that I want to move forward and to have the ability to express myself and embrace and, look at and enjoy, that's going to be really important for us. And that's actually going to make us astoundingly powerful. So this energy that can make us rather anxious and overwhelmed can become something powerful and beautiful and something that really helps propel us forward into success. Now, the moon is also going to be conjunct the fixed star Nunki. Now, Nunki is a lovely star. We usually have beautiful readings, right? And then we get to this fixed stars and it's like, oh my gosh, this one is malevolent and hurtful and hateful. But this star is truthful and it's optimistic, and it really connects us with sacred wisdom, whether that be of religions or spirituality, or whether that be of the sacred knowledge of the ancients. It doesn't really matter. And in according to the ancient Egyptian and mathematician and astronomer Ptolemy, this Nunki is of the nature of both Jupiter and of Mercury. And this means that we are hardworking, we are highly lucky, and we are also great at communicating what we need, what we want, and how to bring that luck forward into our daily lives. We are seeing things, as we see here with the hangman at our root, we're seeing things quite differently than we have before. And we're learning how to move forward in the strength of us, and the strength of what we desire, and the strength of who we are. But we're also seeing that strength is not brute force. It is caring, it is compassion, it is love, it is respect, it is nurturing. And that's going to be what really guides us forward during this time. And yet we're going to think, I'm wrong for embracing that sort of strength. And Spirit is saying we're not. Now, we are way too much in our own heads, in our inner self, and it bleeds into our public arena self. It is like, I am needing to move forward. I'm needing to embrace this strength and this beauty. I have all this loveliness going on in my heart, but I can't. There's doubt and there's fear and there's negativity, and it's almost like I'm going to mess it all up, or everything is going to fall apart. And I just know that it is. We have to get out of our own head. We have to get out of that negative loop, because it will keep us from moving forward the way that we want to. It'll say to us, it'll really feed off of that Lilith energy and say, but there are storm clouds coming, but you can't possibly move forward towards your blessings, but you don't get to have what you want. You don't get to have what you need. And it just makes us overwhelmed, and it makes us sick to our stomachs, and it brings us to a place where, if we let it take over, we won't be able to see the new roads that are opening to us. We won't be able to see that we hold the world in our hand and we can embrace what we desire. This is looking at things and saying, okay, what's the sorrow? What's the pain? What's the hurt? And how is it that I look this dead in the eye and I say, you don't get to rule me. I get to move forward in passion and in new beginnings. It brings us to the Two of Cups. I get to be in love with my life. I get to embrace the unity of the sacred feminine and the sacred masculine coming together within me. And it brings us then to the very essence of ourselves as the star. We are represented by the star in the major arcana. Our wishes come true. Divinity is hearing what we deeply not want, not what we cross our fingers for and say, oh, I hope that comes true, or I hope I can acquire this. This is what our soul longs for. This is the beauty within us. This is releasing the negativity and the stagnation. And it's like, it's about time. And it brings us to this place where we are warriors of the heart, cloaked in our own heart chakra, rising above the chaos of the world and being able to move forward. It links us then to the Hierophant, and the Hierophant is the major arcana marriage card. It is commitment, it is celebration, it is saying, this is what I pledge myself to. It also represents the Pope in medieval times, and the Pope in medieval times was the most powerful person in the land. They told kings and queens, emperors and empresses what to do, and that's really quite extraordinary. And so here we have this extraordinary power of tradition. It doesn't mean that it has to be religious tradition, but it is the tradition of ourselves, of what we desire, of the place that we want to move forward in within our lives, of the way that we want to move forward within our lives, and claiming our own power, our own worth, and our own desire. Taliesin was a bard, right? A famous bard in Celtic mythology who was supposed to be nothing and then grew up to be world renowned. It's looking at ourselves and saying, I might, people might not have believed in me. I might have thought I was supposed to be nothing, but I'm going to let myself shine. I'm going to let myself embrace my uniqueness, my passion, my desire, and I'm going to let me step forward in that energy. It brings us to the Four of Cups. It brings us to a need to rest, and a need to look and broaden what we call our passions, our desires, what we are looking at right now, because divinity is handing us a gift that kind of blows our mind, that puts us on a course that we just didn't expect. But it's not going to be shiny. It can actually feel like another responsibility placed upon our shoulders. So we have to be aware of that. In the public arena, we're just way too harsh on ourselves. We need to name our hurt and our pain. Here it says heartbreak, sorrow, and grief. And that becomes the mantra of the Three of Swords. It's heartbreak, sorrow, and grief. Heartbreak, sorrow, and grief. It's like, how do I name the hurts and the pains so that I can pull out the swords and not be completely depleted by them? So when the swords are in the heart, they're always opening up new wounds. They're always wounding us in a new way. And as we take them out and we name that pain, we start to heal those wounds. And as we do so, it brings us to the Eight of Swords, which says here, frustration, anxiety, trapped. It's like, I'm trapped in this frustration. I'm trapped in this anxiety. It's a never-ending, vicious cycle that makes it feel like I can never move forward to the place that I want to be. And in the public arena, we're ruled by Uranus. Uranus steps forward so powerfully here, Aquarius, that we need to be free. We need to embrace that freedom for ourselves, that way to move ourselves forward, that sense of, I am not letting this hurt and the sorrow from my past define and dictate my present. I'm just not doing it. There's a strength here to us, and there's going to be a cleansing, a healing here to us. That's going to be quite extraordinary. So let's see what the moon has to say for herself. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. So at our root, our Luna message is confidence is your key to success. This is the new moon in Leo, so that Leo energy shines through very, very powerfully. And then we have the long night moon, the darkness coming forward, which, is intensity, right? And it says here, darkness. We have the darkness coming forward. And it's like, in this new moon, in the darkness that is around us, what are we embracing? Where is our confidence? What are we developing within ourselves? In our Luna inner message, it says work through your fears, because you're hungering for so much more than what you're settling for within your fears, within your doubt, within your chaos. We all do. We all have a chaos that rules us, and we have to look at it and say, am I feeding this? And, is this enough to sustain me? And is this the way that I'm going to move forward? And it's almost like a heck no, absolutely not. Well, actually, it's a hell no. So Spirit's like, don't censor it down. It's like, no, this is what I desire, and I'm not settling for the hurt and the pain any longer. It moves us to our lunar inner self, and it says conclusions are within reach, beginnings. This is the new moon shining through. All right. And January is named after the Roman god Janus, the god of new beginnings, the god of portals. And we're seeing that portal and that new beginning right here. And we're going to see that conclusions are within reach as we embrace this new beginning, as we embrace January, as we embrace a new year, an angel year of 222 of new beginnings. It brings us then to our lunar public arena self. And it says balance spirituality and practicality. And that brings self-love. That brings a love for ourselves and a desire for ourselves to move forward in more than we ever expected. But we have to calm, and we have to center ourselves, and we have to really look at our pain and say, you don't get to rule me. You don't get to be the key component in my life anymore. I let you have control for way too long. It moves us then to our lunar subconscious message, which is look at the bigger picture. Extremes. See where the extremes have pulled us, and find that balance, which is really easy to say and really hard to do. Take aim and find that bullseye. It moves us to our subconscious energy to be mindful of. It's the lovers. It's being caught up in the lust of it all, not thinking things through. Be mindful of that. Our subconscious chakra message is inner child. It's the heart chakra. It's connecting with the heart chakra. And it's doing the exercise of visualizing yourself, holding your arms open to the child that you once were, and letting that child run into your arms and say, I love you. I'm here for you. I will always love you. I will always listen to you. I will always be here for you. I got you. And that brings such security to us. For our inner child to know that they are finally always heard and always respected. I mean, that is beautiful. It moves us to our subconscious rooted message. And that is the Emperor, Aries energy. It is fierceness, it is determination, it is focus, it is saying, this is my throne, this is my world, this is what I claim, and this is how I'm moving forward. We have fire energy at our root. We're blazing brightly. We're shining brightly as the stars that we are. It moves us to our subconscious inner self. And that is the Magician. As above, so below. As we believe it, Aquarius, so it becomes. What do we believe? How are we blessing and cursing our own lives as we stand before the elemental truth of our existence, as we stand before the elements that nurture us, that warm us, that, sustain us? How are we embracing who we are and what we want? It moves us to our subconscious emotional self, and that is the Tower. There's a lot of chaos here. We've been thrown out of our comfort zone. For some of us, 16 years ago, the journey began. And we are thinking, wow, why did this have to? And we're going to see the emotions turning up. We're going to see the chaos coming forward. And we're going to need to see ourselves walking towards our goals. Because divinity is throwing us out of our comfort zone so that we grow more, so that we see more. The Tower is not necessarily a bad thing at all. It is about the transformation of us. And that is an extraordinary thing. And it doesn't have to be 16 years. It could be 16 days. It could be 16 minutes. It doesn't have to be a big thing. It could be something very, very small, but it changes the way we see things forevermore. And it could just be watching something on YouTube or TikTok or, whatever we're watching at that moment, or reading something, and it just sticks with you, as things do. Our subconscious public arena self is the Ace of Wands. This says here, it says career, beginnings, and travel. There are new beginnings that are coming. For our career, we are traveling. This is also our passion and our excitement moving us forward. This is the fire of our existence and divinity saying, yes, it is time. It is time to embrace our passion and our fire and our brilliance and move forward in that glory. All right, Aquarius. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power and the intensity of this new moon. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Aquarius, and may you have a blessed moon.